Hello, I am back tonight on homework 3-1 for those of you who are coming on. And I do need to give a shout out to some students that I know will be watching these videos this week. Lexi and Trison in C2, shout out to you too. And Veronica and Sophia in C3. Big shout out to you ladies as well. We'll start off with problem number 7 real quick. And as you can see, I already have these done for you, but I just wanted to talk you through these. Problem number 7 says 32 over 1,000. So the way we say that is 32 thousandths, which is cool because it tells us exactly which place value we should end with our last digit. And as you heard me say, 32 thousandths, the last place value is the thousandths place value. Right here you have the ones, decimal, tenths, hundredths, and thousandths. And since we said 32 thousandths, we need to make sure that that 32 ends in the thousandths position, which means we need to put a significant zero before it so it holds that tenths place value right after the decimal. So that's how you write it. Problem number 9. They tried to trick you. Don't let them be tricky, sneaky, because you are so much smarter than that. Make sure that you do not try to add your decimals going horizontally. Instead, draw them vertically like I did, because I know Mrs. Evenhoose even has a song about lining up decimals. And I always say, line them up, line them up, up. And so they are all nicely lined. That way you can see that the 7 is actually in the tenths position, and the 4 that you're adding with it is in the hundredths position, which makes this easy peasy lemon squeezy because you have a 0 plus 4 is 4 in the hundredths, and then a 7 plus 0 is 7 in the tenths. And then you line up your decimal, make sure you put that back in there, and then 0 and 0 is 0. So your answer is 74 hundredths. Finally, on problem number 11, I'm not going to give you the absolute answer. Notice that I changed my fraction and my whole numbers when I'm doing this one. I want you to try 11 the way that it's written with the 1/5 times 30 equals 6 all on your own, and turn that one in for me, please. If you want to use this one as a practice one on the back, that is absolutely fantastic. What we are doing is first looking at our whole number that we are using, and that is 32. Because we are using 32 as our whole, I needed to make 32 little plus signs in here. And if you count each of them up, will be 32 all together. I didn't want to do this one by one because it would have taken too long to show you this on the video, but I had to make them and then move them one by one into each one of these circles. And when I did that, it worked out perfectly so that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 plus signs in each of these. And I know this to be true because 8 times 1, 2, 3, 4 groups is equal to the 32. But it wants me to do 3/4 times the 32. Well, 3/4 of 32 is 32 put into 4 groups, which I did over here, but I only want 3 of those 4 groups. The numerator shows us how many groups we want to keep. The denominator shows us how many groups we have. And the 32 shows us how many pieces that we have altogether in those groups. So since I only want 3, I'm going to just cross one of these groups out. Now, if I go through and I count all of these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I could count 8 individually 3 times, but I know that 8 times 3 is 24, and that shows me that I have 24 left over. So what this is explaining is if I have 32, you can even say Matchbox cars, or 32 cookies that I had to put into 4 groups, but I only got to keep 3 of those 4 groups. That would leave me with 24 Matchbox cars or 24 cookies. So 3/4 times 32, or 3/4 of 32, equals 24. Thank you so much for watching tonight. I hope you have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you tomorrow.